I'm here with Festival Executive Director Sybil Santiago. Sybil, how does it feel to be back here at Village East?
It feels amazing. It was a little bit nerve-wracking prior before we started, and we weren't sure what to expect. We didn't know how people would be like, but as soon as the doors opened and as soon as the filmmakers came in, it was like, like that family reunion that you actually look forward to, because everyone, even though a lot of people just met each other for the first time, it felt like everybody knew each other for so long because they were looking forward to having this moment together. So it was really, really nice. It was kind of somewhat wholesome too, how beautiful it was. So it was great. It was great to be back.
Feels like a homecoming.
It really super is a homecoming. Even the after party, it's just everybody didn't want to leave. I mean, we had the next day still coming, and people just stayed. So it was really great.
Give me some highlights that you've seen so far and kind of talk about what's to come.
Absolutely. First of all, right now we have a film that's going that we really love. It's a documentary about skateboarders, so it's really fun to see them all come into the theater with their skateboards. And we actually have quite a lot of short films this year from different parts of the world and within the country. Who've been really, really great stories. One of the things that I noticed this year, though, is that it's so much more diverse. It was almost easy to be diverse on my program because my submissions are actually diverse. And there were so many really strong, I know this is a word that's used in the industry a lot, authentic stories, but it sincerely were a lot of pure authentic stories that's being told by the filmmakers. So to me, I always say this, it just shows you the resilience of independent filmmakers and how important it is for industry to support and follow and nurture independent filmmakers, because that's where it all starts, the storytelling. So it's really exciting to see new and veteran filmmakers making all of these projects, and somehow through the pandemic, making their projects, getting it done, getting it finished, and now they're here at the festival. It's just so exciting. I mean, I don't know how else to it's really a celebration. It is. It truly is. It truly is. And I hope it stays the same.
Did you guys decide to do a virtual program this year as well, or are we 100% live?
We thought about it. We thought about doing hybrid if we could, but the reality is, and I'm not sure. As I've been spoken to a lot of festival directors as well that are putting up the festivals back live again. The bandwidth is just a little bit more difficult right now for us. So I know for Soho it would have been great to have the hybrid scenario, but the reality of it is we could only do one or the other, at least to start. And of course, if we were to pick, we wanted to try to go live, and which we did. And it was almost like a last-minute effort as well, because we weren't even sure if we could get the theater. That's the reality of it, because all the studios have the theaters right now for their releases. But thank God we have a great partner with Village East by Angelica. They were so, they know that we've been here in this theater for the past, I believe, 8 years or so. And so it was great to be able to come back and actually bring the live audience together. And I think things just sort of happen as it's supposed to be, even though we kind of started late than usual. We're still really excited and feeling very blessed that we got on.
Last year, we talked about the Soho Film Forum. So can you give us an update? Actually, what is that, 'cause for people who don't know, and then just kind of give us an update on what's happening?
So the Soho Film Forum is our nonprofit arm, where we're looking to expand more on the education and sort of nurturing new filmmakers and people that are getting into the industry. We got our nonprofit actually just before the pandemic, and we were supposed to launch in 2020. And unfortunately, we got locked down. We closed down, so it was a little bit difficult to have a formal launch for the nonprofit. So now, hopefully this year, my fingers are crossed, but we're hoping that we can fully launch in 2023, so we can expand our program, because that's really my goal. Like when I say diverse this year, we literally have programs of all kinds, all types. I even have an ASL film, that I'm really proud of, and I'm hoping that I can expand on an actual full ASL program by next year. So there's a lot of things I'd like to grow with the festival, So I'm hoping that with our nonprofit, with the Film Forum, it can help sort of nurture that, so we can really be able to get the support that we need, so we can expand the program and help more filmmakers and get more stories told and get really proper representation for everybody as much as possible.
Where do you see the festival in 5 years? Like, where do you see you guys down the road?
Down the road, I hope that we can expand it to a full festival. Like, for example, right now, we are pretty limited in the number of screens that we can have in the theater that we're in. My goal is that we can expand it so that we can have further outreach in many communities. So that the films that we bring in, whether it be just on the main event or also smaller events that lead to the festival, I'm hoping that I can actually have that in place through the film forum. And at some point, if I can expand it big enough, I really want to have a film market in New York. And that's my vision board for the festival that I'm hoping that we could expand onto.
What needs to happen in order for that to happen? Because that sounds a lot of work, but do you know what the steps are in between here and there?
Yeah, we are applying for grants. We're waiting for responses from those applications. We need supporters. We need someone behind us to help, bring the festival to that level, or the forum, I should say, that presents the festival. Because the more support we have, the more support we can give. And that's really the biggest goal of the festival, is to support the filmmakers. And it's really great because almost every year, I don't remember a program in the last 5 years where I didn't have films from filmmakers who literally met someone through the festival or came to the festival and got inspired by something and made a film the year later, or filmmakers that came from another country and ended up moving to New York because they wanted to stay in the film community here in New York. And there's so many stories of that. This year I think I have 3 or 4 films that were from people who met at the festival. So, and then also we have filmmakers that were students and just literally starting out, and I see them every year. Their programs change, their films get better, and now they're at the studio system, but they're still always coming back here and say, I have this project, I need to come here because this is where it all started for them. We want to continue doing that. Even when I'm no longer here, when somebody else is here, like, I want that to continue so that it doesn't, hopefully it doesn't go away, because I feel that independent filmmakers and filmmaking is, to me, still the true lifeblood of the industry, because that's where you really start and that's where you can nurture the talent of the people that stay in this business.
For next year, so we're in October, do you want to keep it as it was always a summer festival?
It was always in June, it was in the summer or spring. The pandemic pushed us down because we weren't sure if we would have the festival. But we're moving it back up again. Hopefully by next year we can back, a little bit higher towards the summer, and maybe by 2024 we can get back to June, which is really our month that we usually have our festival.
For filmmakers watching who think they want to get involved or submit, give me some advice for not just what you look for, but in general, what should they know in order to submit, and what kind of film do you guys want to see?
Honestly, we are pretty open we don't do themes in this festival, in case you didn't notice. It's really, we love good stories. We love good storytelling. My only advice is that for a filmmaker, if you're going to be involved in a festival of any sort, and I think I would say that it probably applies to all festivals that they would want to get involved with, you have to care enough to be part of it if you're going to be a part of it. It's either you do or you don't. And I think the most of the filmmakers I actually personally speak to or communicate with during the festival, make sure you reach back, you get back. You have to be, I remember an advice that I got back when I was coming out of school, when I said, what is your key to success? I would say, always return people's calls, right? This was back in the days when people called each other. And I just spoke to Dan Lin from one of the panels that we had at the PGA, and he would ride back. He's so successful, and I look up to this man. We asked him the same question, and advice he said, always get back to people. And that applies to filmmakers with festivals. You should always get back to people, because it just goes to show where you are and how important your project is to, because there's always somebody there that cares that much for what they're doing, and at least have just filmmaking in general is passion. If you don't have the passion for it, then maybe it shouldn't be here to you know what I mean? So
for those who want to either get involved or those who want to submit or just come see movies, where can they find you guys online?
www, I don't know if people still say that, but it's sohofilmfest.com. I might be dating myself, but it's sohofilmfest.com. We're in all social media as Soho Film Fest. I hope you follow us. I hope you watched the films from the film festival, because we have some really amazing filmmakers. And I hope that we get to see your film, your project on our next festival.